Now, ladies and gentlemen, turn on your ears and open up your heart because you know dating each other out here today is definitely a fine art. So, to get us off to a great start, please welcome the one and only dating mechanic herself, Miss Alasha Bennett.
In today's episode, we're talking about emotional intelligence with my guest, Alysha Renaé of Make Me Better. So listen in, friends. We have got so much needed information about raising your EQ right after this break. Don't forget to pick up your Dating Mechanics Ice Line, intimacy, connection, and energy with our massage candles, cream, body spray, and our melts. Pick them up at Amazon or on Instagram. So I'm here with my guest, my friend, Alysha Renaé. This is Coach A. Yes, she's dedicated to just making us better.
Absolutely. That's all.
That's all. She brings a unique blend of empathy, resilience, and practicality to her coaching practice. And it's all in the realm of emotional intelligence. That is like a buzzword. That's the word that everybody is using. It's like, it feels like another cliche word that is just going around like all these other words. So
like narcissist,
and yes, all the words. So let's talk about it. Like, what is the meaning of emotional intelligence?
So emotional intelligence is understanding, managing, being able to express your own emotions, but then also being able to influence other people's emotions from yours as well. So most of us spend our entire lives just kind of pushing through the snappy, you know what I'm saying? Like we weren't taught emotional intelligence.
Okay.
So what I actually found about October last year, a girlfriend of mine tagged me in a book, said, "Hey, read this." And it was about emotional intelligence, titled Emotional Intelligence by Joe Hassan. And in reading it, I realized it was things that I had been working on for myself, but not realizing that there was actually a name for it. So as I'd been going through therapy, I would say starting about 2019, I think is when we kind of started to transform. We were working on transforming my thinking because I have anxiety, I have complex PTSD, also I have major depressive disorder. So in order for me to stay at the top of my game, that's something that I had to actually work on and learn how to build. So a lot of people believe that, you know, we think one way, we grow up a certain way, and the way we handle people are a certain way, especially with being a parent. And for me, I know I missed out on a lot of years trying to fix myself, of course, but what really actually helped my kids and our relationship was actually, emotional intelligence. Okay. And being able to actually, not just myself, and that's when you come to influencing others, is being able to be kind. Whereas I used to be the yelling parent. We know a lot of that. You know what I mean? The I know you heard me, and because I said so, and all of these things, you know what I'm saying? Because that's ingrained in us. But being able to be open to my children, being able to speak to me and say, this is how I feel, or this is how you made me feel when you said this, and not erupting on them. Or meeting, because I was a person that's like a ticking time bomb, but it was because of the things that I was going through, of course.
Correct.
So a stranger, you know what I'm saying, could rub me the wrong way, and now I'm explosive. It's not healthy.
Yeah. And
going through therapy, like I said, you realize you probably need to figure out a better way. And so in therapy, she taught me about journaling, of course, and the difference in reacting versus responding, and the actual difference that it makes, because of course something comes up immediately, my response is boom.
Right.
But now it's, let's think about this.
Right. like why is the thing happening right now?
There is a reason why we went from 0 to 100, and it probably has zero to do with what we're dealing with right now. Zero. It was probably something you woke up to this morning and rubbed you the wrong way, and now you're literally taking it out on everybody.
Right.
But what I found with emotional intelligence, and that's my main thing, is just staying in the era of positivity. And yes, we are always something's going to make us angry. Something's going to make us sad. Something's going to upset us, because there are things in life that happen that make those emotions, or that bring about those emotions. But how you handle them is what made all the difference for me. Yes, I am depressed. Yes, not today.
Not today. Not today. Not today, friends.
In those moments, yes, I am depressed, but I don't stay there. I'm not going to stay there. Yes, I'm anxious, but I'm not going to stay there. And so figuring out how to navigate those moments better in a way that is more helpful for me and the people around me, because I really don't want to be the person that pours all of that onto somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it affects their development and their growth, and, so being able to control that, control our behavior. And a lot of times we try to control other people's behavior. Like, honey, no, you can only control you.
Only control you.
So work on that. And if we just work on that, if we just work on you trying to control you. So you said something and going along with emotional intelligence that I learned about myself some years ago. You said the yelling thing. So that's a thing, right?
Yes.
That us parents do, right? But with me, it was, I have to say it 3, 4, 5 times, because if I say it 3, 4, 5 times, you gonna get. So I ain't gotta yell it, but if I say it 3, 4, 5 times, and and for me, it was because I didn't think people listened to me and they heard me. I didn't feel like they acknowledged the fact that I'm speaking to them. So it wasn't just my children. I was doing it to everyone. Whether it was instructions, whether it was how I feel, whatever it is, I'm going to say it at least 3 or 4 times, because if you didn't hear me in them 3 or 4 times, hold on, then I get the yell.
Then I yell.
Then I get to yell,
and
because
then
you
I
didn't
feel
hear
like
me. Right.
You earned it. I know it's bad. I know. And that's the part of, for me, with emotional intelligence, and just actually realizing that there is no perfect way for this to go. But for me, is being able to, even in those ugly moments, to be able to pull back and go, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I could have said that differently. I could have handled that differently. I could have chosen a different time to say that thing. I could have.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Right.
Whereas there was a time when I said the thing and I did the thing, and I knew it was dead wrong. And I would stand up in it.
Yeah. Ooh.
I know. It's ugly.
That hurts.
Think of how
somebody is sitting. Hold on. Somebody is sitting, and they, they might be watching this by themselves, and they know that's them.
Yes.
Y'all know that's y'all. Y'all be doing the stuff. Y'all know it's the wrong thing to do. Or we're not going to say wrong. It is not the best thing to do for that situation, for that moment. It's not helping anyone. Yet
Think
you're
about
doing it.
The people that you love the most are the people that you spend the most time with for the most part. So that's your spouse or your partner, whomever, your children, maybe your parents, those kind of things. These are the people that are getting the brunt of all the things.
All the things.
And for a very long time, all the things was ugly. And being able to actually go, oh, I can actually admit that I was not a good parent for a very long time because of these things. But it's all in the knowledge that we lack. Yes. We're raised a lot of, in our households. We're not necessarily taught to parent in the best ways.
And we have to give, and I know you know this, we have to give our parents grace, because it's the things that they didn't know. I cannot blame you for something that you didn't know. And I can't say, well, you should have known better, or it was done to you, so you shouldn't do it to somebody. Everybody is not in that place where they can evaluate their behavior or evaluate the behavior that was done to them, be able to sit in it, analyze it, and then move on from it. Yeah. Okay, this happened to me, but I don't have to carry this.
I don't have to stay there.
Right. I don't have to stay here.
I can actually leave this right here and keep it moving.
Absolutely.
And so it has been the absolute, I would say, I mean, my children are 20 and 18 now. A generous chunk of their childhood, they got the yelling mother, the yelling mom, the scream. Don't get me wrong, we yell and scream today in those situations where I done said it, and then I done said it, and then I done said it, and then I done said it. But I know I still, even in that moment, could do it something. I can do it
Do it a different way.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that.
Do you think that we also, like, if we grew up like that, where the yelling is how we stop the thing that we're doing and pay attention, do you think that we let it get to that point? And then when the person yells,
Yes.
then we react.
I have found myself saying, I said it such and such amount of times. The only time you hear me is when I'm yelling.
Yeah.
But why though?
Right.
Like I don't want to be in 2024 when I think of all the things that I've experienced in my 41 years. I don't want to be in a place today where I have
Girl,
to
you look
yell.
good. 41. All right.
But I don't want to be in a place where, whether it's in a relationship intimately, whether I'm at a job, whether I'm out in the park or wherever, I want peace. I want to feel good when I'm around you.
Right.
I mean, that's for real. That's what Make Me Better is about. You know what I'm saying? When you come to us, when you leave us, I want you to feel good about yourself. That's what the emotional intelligence is being able to pour in what it is that you're missing. What is it that I can get? My favorite thing to say is, how can I help?
Yeah.
How can I help? I mean, what is it that I can do differently and this is a question, I will ask my children, what is it that I can do differently today? This is the thing. When we were growing up, we weren't asking our parents weren't asking us.
No.
How good, because this is how it sounds, what I'm saying? How good you think I'm doing as a parent?
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. It's really not what it is. It is literal, two humans are having a conversation. Your kids should really feel comfortable enough to say, hey, Mom, this made me feel this way. They feel heard. They feel seen. They feel valued. And so they go out into the world and they expect those same things from people. So when they pick up in relationship or they pick up friends and whatever, they know that's what they're going to expect or what they should be receiving on the opposite end. I am blessed beyond measure that I'm able to put that into them now.
Yes.
Versus all these years of, I feel like, setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
But again, we didn't get that from our parents.
Right.
Our parents didn't get that from their parents. Now's the time to change it.
Now is the time to change it. No good time like the present, right?
Right.
No, I think
Right.
In this age of, so I always say, the internet is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because it's an overload of information.
Yes.
If you can compartmentalize the information that you're getting and take it a chunk at a time, you can really find some helpful things.
I agree.
You can also find some very hurtful things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
things can be very hurtful on the internet. But if you are, looking for the helpful things, you can find them.
Yes.
And when you're trying to be better, it's a journey. And it takes time. And a lot of times people are not patient with themselves. So when people come to you and they want to be healed right now, they want to have emotional intelligence
Today.
right now,
Today. Right.
just because they want it, right? How do you help them through that?
The majority of people are actually fighting against a lifetime of not knowing. You know what I mean? So it's really just a matter of, like I say, I'm very straightforward, but I also understand that you have to be compassionate with people. And so I always say, and I can't remember the actual book, but how do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time. And so you don't just automatically, tomorrow I'm going to be so smart about this thing.
And enlightened.
And woke, or whatever they want to call it. You know what
I'm going to remember everything in my childhood.
Absolutely not.
And understand it.
Because for real, for me, when this came up, I was digging through a lifetime of trauma. and trying to navigate that. And this was a coping mechanism for me, because what I was doing in that place of constant yelling and, tension and all of that is when I was making myself physically sick. That's the one thing that we have to remember, that all of it plays a part in together. But I spent a lot of time trying to pull myself together. And I actually lost my train of thought.
And the things, and I don't know. It's gonna get you.
Yes. Oh my goodness gracious.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
So short-term memory loss.
Oh, well,
Yes,
part of
is a thing.
Yes,
it's part of all of this. And so having to actually navigate life with the trauma and losing my train of thought and talking to someone, and now I'm upset because I don't know what I was going to say, and having to now figure those things out.
Navigate that in the moment.
In the moment, yes.
So and I really wish that people, like, if you're watching this, really take in the time to say, how do I react to even social media? Somebody says something on social media, on your post, or you're having a conversation with somebody and you think they snapping. Pause. Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Like, wait, hold on a second.
How do you teach
You
people?
found it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
How do you teach people that emotional intelligence does not just come overnight? It's letting them realize, or just giving them the information. You're going to take this one day at a time, one moment at a time, one situation at a time. And over time, as you continue to practice, it gets better for you. So, when I first started, I'm in therapy and I'm trying to implement all these things. And of course, you're actually implementing a ton of stuff at one time. Realizing that, the memory loss stuff, you're not going to remember to do all the things at once. Giving yourself the grace, of course, to know that you're not always going to be always on your P's and Q's. That sometimes you are going to react versus respond. But being able to draw yourself back in and apologize, accept responsibility for whatever hurt you may have caused, whatever may have come from that moment.
Right.
And then pushing forward. Because we have a tendency when we're dealing with people that we love. I react to you, I act a way that I don't like, and now I feel horrible. And now I'm sad because, of course, that's, you're anxious, you have PTSD, you have depression, you feel some kind of way about it. But knowing that was one moment. One moment in a vast lifetime of opportunities you have to actually make those things better for those person. Maybe better.
Yeah, make it better. Yeah,
but to make those moments better, I love to call them growth moments. Growth moments are ugly. The best kind of growth moment is ugly, because it's a rock bottom moment. You know what I mean? Even if it might seem like a small thing in the moment, but sometimes you might end up in a knockdown, drag out with somebody that you absolutely love, your child, your spouse, your parent, whatever. And then you have to draw back from that. Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't apologize. Everybody can't say, I did this thing and I was wrong.
Well, they can, but they have to get to the point where they're opening up and they're willing.
Yes.
And in this dating and relationship thing, this is where we're seeing a really big problem. I'm going to throw another buzzword out there, right?
Yes.
Accountability, right? Yes. Because everybody's using that word right now, but ain't nobody using the word right now.
I was going to say nobody's doing it. They're half doing it.
Right. So if we're going to talk about accountability, let's actually be accountable for the things that we're doing.
Right.
Yes, I said the thing.
The thing.
And you know what? I'm coming back to you and I'm apologizing.
Yeah.
Right? I might have meant the thing. Right? Because that's how I was feeling. However, I could have said, as you said earlier, I could have said it a different way. I could have brought it up in a different time. I could have released the bass in my voice when I said it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
my chest in a little more.
Because it's a thing. It's not only
body language.
It's not only what you say. It's how you say it.
How you actually appear when you say it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want to say men are more prone to that, and I could be wrong, with the bravado when they get angry and things like that.
I think it just looks different.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Because we both do it, but it looks different, and it actually looks a little more, you know what I mean, like whoa.
Well, because
when it comes from that side.
Well, a lion versus a squirrel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean like women, you're not squirrels. I'm just saying.
I know what you mean. Yes.
But there's a big difference in how that's being perceived. Yes. Right? That's why the kids are listening to dad,
but not mom.
All he got to do is say something.
Yes.
But when mom is over there, right? Like a chipmunk.
You just wait till your dad gets home.
Then it's a whole other situation, right? Yeah. But while mom is going, they ain't hearing nothing she's saying, right?
Saying the same stuff as that.
And all he had to say was, what'd your mama say? You know what I mean? What'd your mama say?
Exactly.
And that's the end of whatever it is that they was doing, right? Wow. So So this is an interesting conversation because when we talk about all of these buzzwords and, all of these things, like, are we really breaking it down?
No. I don't think so. I believe, and this is a social media thing, right? Okay. I believe it's a social media, internet thing. There are a lot of opinions about a lot of things on social media, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really hard for a lot of people, especially when you're just starting to learn or research about a particular topic, what you should actually be taking in and what you shouldn't. Mm. Because you're actually speaking to all the people with any knowledge, And so what I have, I'm thinking of one person in particular when I say this, is you pick up a thing, oh, I'm interested in this thing. And you go down a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. And you find yourself way over there and way over there. And right here is where we're supposed to be. And it is actually, I think, because there's so much information, you said it earlier, it's hard to dig through what you actually need to carry, what you need to take in and what you need to dump. I can't think of the actual.
And say what is right for me. What is right in this situation?
Yes.
Everything is out there for me. There's all types of decisions that I can make, but Absolutely. What is the decision that I need to make for myself? And that's being in tune with yourself, knowing yourself and saying, okay, this is how I've reacted in the past, but this is where I want to go. So what is the path to that? What do I have to do in order to get to that place without being broken along the way?
We don't recognize just how much our mindset controls our life. Our minds and how we think about certain things, how we react to certain things, literally controls the outcome of most things when it comes to life. So just learning how to be in control of yourself. Yes, it's a million people around you. You may even believe you can control them kids of yours, but you can't.
At the end of the day.
You cannot. You can only give them the information and then let them do with it whatever they would have.
Because, honey, we worry about the older kids and the ones out the house than we do more than the ones that are inside the house. And why? Because we have no control. we have no control.
Zero.
Over
and
what
so
they're
now
doing.
You're free to do the things. And as Mama Bear wants to do, Mama wants to protect you. Mama wants, and it looks like control, but Mama wants to protect you. But Mama has to understand that in the same ways that we had to go out and learn and make the mistakes and do the things, that they have to be able to do the same thing. And that's where all the extra worry, once they get grown, comes in, because we know
what's out there.
I actually gotta let you live the life. I gotta let you do the things. I gotta stand to the back, because that's experience makes, that's how I grow.
Yeah.
Life experience is how I grow, how I become. My daughter said to me, she was like, I don't think I could, like right now, I don't think I could be a life coach because I don't feel like I've gone through enough things. You actually have, if you consider just your 20 years, you know what I'm saying, and what you have gone through. But to recognize that life experience is what makes us I don't want to say the better people, but that helps us. making those mistakes and going through life and doing those things, she actually recognized that I still got a ways to go. And I can learn, and there's more for me.
But see, when you're open to that, and when you say, I don't know if, look, we don't know what we don't even know.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's
and
like,
to me, that's emotional intelligence, being able to say, hey, I know I don't know all of it.
I'm going off of the information that I have right now at this point in time, and that information can change as soon as I get some new information.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. and you know why that is, though? Because so people have different life experiences, right? And this is what I find with coaching as well, is my experience is not going to be your experience. So when you tell me the thing, what worked for me may not actually work for you.
And we had the same experience, but we had a different
experience. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I, even as a coach, have to be open to the idea that it's my way is not going to possibly maybe not be Alysha's way.
Yeah.
And so I actually have to be able to adjust to that as well. And I loved how, my daughter's like, I ain't did enough things yet.
Tell her I said, so I had a pastor, Edward Smith, and pastor told me he's gone now. But he said, because I said something similar, going down the ministerial path and,
yes,
all of those things. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm young, I'm this, saying the same things. I don't have enough experience to become a minister of something. What do you mean? Right? And so he was like,
you somewhere, you're supposed to be at
he was like, just keep living.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he told me. And to me, that made so much sense. And it clicked with me. That simple sentence, just keep living.
Yep. Because if this is your calling, right? So if being a coach is your calling, then life is going to continue happening. And that's how you're going to get the experience that's going to be able to help this person versus the other, or how you're going to figure out how to do those things. And I just
just keep living. And although
that's a grandma saying.
Yeah. And although, see, people get it. Coaches do not tell you what to do.
No.
Coaches do not make your decisions for you. Because guess who has to live in those decisions? So we are not here to tell you what to do. We're here to help you figure out exactly. We're here to help you figure out what it is that you want to do. And now what are the steps that you need to take in order to do the thing that you want to do? Yes. And I'm going to support and encourage you through that because that's the thing that you want to do. Yes. As long as it's not harming yourself, right, in any way, we're all for the things. Yes. I want you to do all the things that you want to do that's going to help you be better. So what I'm saying? So it's just, absolutely. It's always, I always love I love talking to all my guests, but I always love talking to coaches because there is a different, conversation that we're having that hopefully people will be able to hold on to. I had somebody so funny. I had someone say in the comments in the last video, they were like, you guys are just talking about the same thing. Like nothing is changing. Like you guys are talking about the same thing. And it was so funny because I was like, we're talking about the same thing, but are things becoming different? So how do you move from something? How do you mature from something if you haven't learned how to get to the next level? If you haven't received an understanding, you're going to keep going back to the thing. So many times we have gone back to the thing. The
growth moments haven't actually occurred. And they are occurring, but you're not grabbing onto them. And so as a coach, we are encouraging you to grab onto the...
And you can't make that happen.
Nope. And
you can't push somebody into that. This is why I don't like when people say real men. Oh. It irks me every time, friends. Every single time.
Nails on the chalkboard.
And I know people will argue me down about what a real man is, and he does this and he does that and all the things, right? But at the end of the day, what's a fake man? Because that would be the opposite. Okay, first of all, what's a fake man? But the other thing is we are at different maturity levels.
Yes.
In different categories.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you might be more mature than me as a parent. I may be more mature financially. It's all the things, right? So you don't just mature in every area because you turn 40.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I turned 40. I'm all, I'm wise now.
I got it now.
Look, listen.
No, not at all.
Not at all. I'm still
tell you,
apologizing after
gets
40.
It got to me, 40 was like the turn of, I don't really care as much about stuff as I used to. But I'm going to tell
Look, you should have been here
the
last
things
week.
that I do care about, I'm going to make sure I do right by them. Like, that's my absolute goal. So those things that are important to me, the things that I prioritize, whether it's through my business, my children, relationships, my family, like the things that I've actually said, these things are important to me, I'm going to ensure that my time and attention goes to those things appropriately. So I need to make sure that my experiences and my moments with those people are where they need to be. Because when I'm not here, I want something that's, your legacy is, I don't want that to be, my mama used to holler and scream at us, and me and old girl broke up because she used to do such and such and such. Or my just thinking my father is my backbone. And to think that I could say or do something that would hurt them. The people you love, to me, when you're building your emotional intelligence, because to me, you're always building it, just like you say, you're always healing, right? We are not healed. This is my opinion.
Okay.
We are not healed. For someone like me, you're constantly going through the motions of not, or staying in a place of positivity. Because there are always triggers. And you can go years and years and years, and I haven't felt that in a long time. And all it takes is a little bit of something to take you back to that place. And so just staying like active in the good place. And you're not always going to feel good. Let's make sure we understand that.
Right.
It's not always going to feel good, but just being very proactive.
Being able to bring yourself back.
Being
from
able to, yes, being
place.
very proactive in just your emotions. That's what I'm saying. Boo-hoo. I cried, I shed the tear, and then I got up and I kept it going.
Right.
When we sink down in those places, it's really hard to get up.
Because of shame, because of guilt, because of all the things. Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we talk about emotional intelligence enough, honestly.
I don't think we speak intelligently or about emotional intelligence, right? I don't think we're having the real conversation.
We're not having the right conversation.
That really needs to happen. And this show is only, it's
One of
short.
something.
You know what I mean? But if it is prompting you to go and research and go to therapy to work that out within yourself, and if it's introspect, like if it's causing you to sit back and say, okay, let me look at me.
Yes.
Do I do that?
Yes. Actually being able to take that criticism, whether constructive or otherwise, from someone else and not go, not me, but actually go, is it me?
No, going, it
is me. Yes. But you can ask, is it me, and still go, nah.
Yeah.
But if you're honest with yourself, you know what I'm saying? Those are the growth moments.
Yeah.
Those are the moments when someone says you hurt me and this is why, or you said this and this is how I felt about it or whatever, and being able to say, I'm sorry. And as we say, I'm sorry needs to come with change. So be able to say I'm sorry and shift. So now I know that when I do this thing to you, around you, whatever the case may be, that I'm not making my time in your presence enjoyable. I don't ever want to be the reason why they don't feel good. They're not having a good time, a good day, or whatever. Like, why do you want that to be? As I said earlier, you're usually the people that you're around, your parents, your kids, those things. Why would you want to be the cause of their hurt?
Yeah.
So circling back to emotional intelligence and learning how to actually recognize your own emotions, and then being able to read the room, as we like to say, to be able to read the room and see these people feel this way, or these people are excited happy, joyful. Why do I want to bring my sad and sappy self around them right now? And that's me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to pour that on you. If I know I'm having a day, hey, Alysha, I know we got something to do today, but my energy not right. And I know I'm going, it's not going to be right. Being able to in the house with your children, I'm going to go sit down in my room a little bit. Breathe.
And get myself together.
Get myself
together.
Gather myself and start fresh.
Yeah.
And you can do that at any moment. Like, you don't have to wake up in the morning, okay, it's a new day. No, it's a new moment right now. You was ugly 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
Regroup. That's what emotional intelligence that's to me, and this is because it's my own, my own journey. Emotional intelligence to me is just being able to be a good person to people, humans, all the ones, all the things, you know what I mean? Being a good person to this person. And when they remember me, it's not, oh, she cussed me out, whatever. I don't want to leave that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. And if it just feels good, it makes you feel good. And when you feel good, the people next to you feel good. And it's like a domino effect.
Absolutely.
It's all, I want to feel good.
We change the energy in any space that we're in. And we bring that.
You know how that feels?
Honey,
you know how that feels.
Oh, honey, yes. Like I have brought the energy in plenty of rooms.
Absolutely.
and the room could be somber, and you go in there and it's like, y'all sitting around, y'all ain't doing, what is happening in here?
I want you to feel good.
Yeah. It has been a pleasure. Like, this is my friend in real life. Like, this ain't my friend just standing. Like, we friends in real life. And there have been instances where you've been like, I'm not feeling it. And there's been instances where I've been like, you know what? I know that you're not feeling it. Let's go to breakfast. Let's go here. Let's go there. Because I know you're not feeling it. And as your friend, I want to be able to, I can't make you come out of anything. Yeah. But I want you to know that I'm there for you.
I'm going to tell you when I knew you were
in your moment. Friend. Okay, I want to hear this.
Alysha was my real friend.
Okay.
I was having a day. I don't remember what the day was, what the stuff was that was going on or whatever. But you had asked me something very simple, whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. And I responded. I don't remember what I said, but immediately I felt horrible because we've never had that kind of interaction before.
Okay.
And it was very, it wasn't, whatever it was small, but I knew that it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And your reaction to that was like, you good. You know
like
what I'm saying?
Friend.
It was,
friend.
It wasn't like, I know, you know what I'm saying? Because it could easily, you know what I'm saying? With a lot of people, it could easily go left. You know what I mean?
Right.
Literally in that moment, it was like, all right now.
Friend.
What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And you asked, I want to say you asked me like what was going on or how I felt or whatever. And immediately, I probably was crying on the other, big crying just for no reason. But it was because for me, it was guilt for one, because I know you didn't deserve it. But that grace abounds. I'm like, oh, she love me for real.
For real, girl, for real.
She love me for real.
No, it's I love to be there for my friends, but like you said before, when people leave your presence or when they're in your presence, you want them to know that they're safe.
Yes.
You want them to know that, that's their comfort place, that they can talk to you about anything, that they can reveal their biggest secrets without having to fear that you're going to judge them and those types of things.
Yep.
Like, girl, what's going on?
Yes.
What is the thing? What's happening?
And I'm going to tell you, that's really how the actual life coaching part of my business came about, is because I found that people flock to me with their problems, and not necessarily, it don't have to be a big one. They just wanted to talk. I want to vent today. I want to tell you how I feel. And it could be somebody I ain't never even had a conversation with for real. Facebook ding, bing, hey girl, how you doing? I was just wanting to say, and I'm like, Why me?
Right.
But what do I do on the other end? I listen. I listen. I mean, it's the least of things. And I don't have to, I'm not giving you.
I love that. It's the least of things. The least I can do is listen.
It's the least of things because you don't know what that person on the other end is actually feeling. You know? You have zero clue what they're going through over on the other side. So you listen. I've had plenty of people listen for me. Plenty. So I feel like I'm about to cry. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
I just said I'm a crybaby. I literally just said I'm a crybaby.
But that's okay.
Just the fact that people actually trust you enough to say, hey, I feel this way. And this, when I say things that I'm sure are not necessarily shared with everyone. You know what I mean?
They trusted you enough.
But they trust me enough.
I love that
to
so
say,
much.
hey, this is what I feel about this. This is what I have going on. Sometimes they may ask, how do you cope with such and such? Or what do you do for this or whatever? And sometimes they really just want somebody to listen to them.
I think those moments as a coach, when we have those moments, it fuels us. Because sometimes I'll be wanting to quit y'all. Like, I'm going to be real with y'all. Like, I'll be out here in these relationship streets.
Heavy.
And I'll be like, are we still here? Look, I'm like
heavy.
the person on the post. Are we still here?
We are.
Like, I understand why we still here, but we still here.
Different maturity levels.
Yes.
It's different maturity levels. So, yes, we're still here today because there was somebody else that was coming up behind where you are now that was a couple steps behind. So you're carrying them with you. Yeah. And so, it's always going to be a line of people.
It never ends. But when you, but when you have someone come to you and like they can confide in you, or if they say, I really appreciated that post today. Like, people are coming to inbox, and I'm sure you've had this happen, where they'll be like, I've been following your post, or I've been, for the last couple of days, and you just been hitting on everything, right? Yes. That I've been feeling, that I've been.
Something. People be trying to figure out what my relationship status is based off of like posts and stuff. You will be so confused because I'm a lover of love. You know what I'm saying? And so I will post things that relate to people that are married, people that are single, people that are going through it, people that are this and that, because I realize that my audience is broad. You know what I mean?
And that is actually what you're talking about, having the emotional intelligence to say, I'm not looking at the poster. I'm taking the post, and if it applies to my life today, I'm going to use it. If it applies to my situation, I'm going to use it. And if it don't apply to my situation for today, that one from that post.
But I'm going to tell you what I will do. I'm going to put it in my pocket for later because it could actually apply to me.
It could actually apply at some time.
There's plenty of things. I mean, and as we grow, as we evolve, things that may not apply to you today will apply, later on down the road. And it's really important for us to hold on to the good we see today. Like, I've made a post recently that said, it's very important for me when I set boundaries in regards to like social media and just media in general and those kind of things. Like, when I say I'm a stickler when it comes to the stuff that I actually read, see, when it comes to that. Even some of the viral relationship stuff or the viral that, like, I ain't seen a whole lot of it because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Those things to me are important, and that is intelligence emotionally as well, because you realize when I watch this thing, when I interact with these people, when I do these things, I feel a certain way.
Yes.
It changes me.
And I think that's healing.
Yes.
I think that's what you can call a healing. Not that the thing doesn't bother you, is that you know what bothers you.
Yes. Yes.
And you know how to handle it when it bothers you.
And we have triggers, right? We have relationships with people across the board, bosses, husbands, wives, whatever. They are going to do something to trigger you. They are. Naturally, they are going to do something to trigger you. It is not their responsibility to make sure you aren't triggered.
Yeah.
It is actually our responsibility as the person with the issue. I don't know what other word to use, I'm saying, to actually manage those things for ourselves.
Yes.
So when John, Jane, whomever does this thing, I can actually control me. That's that takes us back to the only thing I can control is me. Absolutely. I can't control what my boss did today. I can't control what the lady at the register at the grocery store did today. I can't control the man at the gas station or whatever the case may be. I can control me. So if I know that I'm going to be triggered by the thing and that the reaction to the thing is going to look like this, and it ain't always good, I'm going to stay away from that.
And that's a good note to just that is a great note. If you've enjoyed this episode today, I actually want you to hit the subscribe button. Like, I don't know where you came from and how you got to the page or what have you, but hit that subscribe button so that you can start to see more of these interviews and interactions and all the good things, right? Comment, follow, share. Please support, because that helps us grow the channel and allows me to bring more great content. I do want to say a thank you to our sponsors, the Yard House and Legal Seafoods. Ma'am, come on. And if you would like to advertise on the show, please email info@thedatingmechanic.com. And you can see that below. It's always a pleasure to have a guest come on. And of course, you my friend, so it's always a pleasure to talk to my friends. We always have a good time. So we will see you next time on The Dating Mechanic Show.
Definitely a fine art. So, to get us off to a great start, please welcome the one and only dating mechanic herself, Miss Alasha Bennett.